Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. And here we are at last with the final pay-per-view DVD review of WWF from 2001. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Vengeance. The Vengeance was usually a pay-per-view we had in the month of July, but due to what happened September the 11th of 2001, the unfortunate incident that took place, WWF decided to rename the December pay-per-view Vengeance instead of Armageddon, out of respect of what happened and everything else. So here we are with the first and I think the only Vengeance we had in a December. So this one was a kind of tournament, I guess. I like to think of it as a tournament, like the end 3 matches for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which was only called the World Heavyweight Championship at this point after Survivor Series, and the WWF Championship to unify as one to become undisputed champion. So on the front cover we have Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Chris Jericho, the 4 people who went to battle on this one evening and to decide the new champion. So this had a 15 certificate here in the UK, Silver Vision release. Unfortunately, no match inlay for me for that one. And here's the back. We have Stone Cold and Kurt Angle one side of the WWF Championship there, while The Rock and Chris Jericho are the other side. We have Matt Hardy here in the bottom right hand corner, and Trish Stratus and Jacqueline on the bottom left hand corner there. So some quick stats for you then, guys. This was held December 9th 2001 at the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California. We had 11,800 in attendance and 307,000 buy rate. So I couldn't even read my own writing then, guys. Yeah, 307,000 buy rate. Anyway, getting to the matches then. So Scotty 2 Hotty and Albert against Test and Christian. So the team of Scotty and Albert, I didn't mind. I started to get used to it after watching them a few times, rewatching some of these pay-per-views back. And yeah, I guess they are pretty good as a tag team. I could see what they were trying to do. They were trying to give Albert like a hip-hop kind of dance kind of gimmick just to go with Scotty 2 Hotty, so they go well together, you know, like Too Cool used to be, you know, with all the dance and all the cool, you know. But yeah, it's unfortunately it didn't work. It didn't suit Albert, but it is what it is. Match was an okay opening match for the pay-per-view. Nothing to write home about, but you know, it happened. And we had a WWF Intercontinental Championship match between Edge and William Regal, which was pretty cool. William Regal would introduce the brass knuckles during this match for the first time. One of his trademarks, which would later become one of his big trademarks, I should say. Very good match though, I did enjoy that. We had Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy, brother versus brother, as the WWF tried to split up the Hardys at this time. Special referee was Lita. Now, on paper, this would sound like an absolute classic, a high-flying 5-star quality match. Unfortunately, it wasn't that great, and the finish to it was pretty questionable. We had Lita make the pinfall count for Jeff in Jeff's favor, and he beat Matt Hardy, but Matt's leg was on the rope, but Lita didn't see it. So the finish there was a bit of a letdown. But I reckon both brothers are very equal. I know Jeff seemed a lot more popular than Matt, but if you follow both their careers and how both their careers turned out, I think they're both equal, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a shame that match wasn't as good as it sounded on paper, as I said. But it is what it is. We had the Dudley Boys putting the WWF Tag Team Championship up for grabs against the Big Show and Kane. Kane getting yet another another title match on a pay-per-view in 2001. This time, the WWF Tag Team Championship. Unfortunately, they weren't very successful here. I think there was interference in this, if I remember rightly. I can remember Big Show getting his head caught on an exposed turnbuckle. But yeah, I didn't write much down in regards to notes for that match. I thought I did. So sorry about that, guys. My mind's gone a bit blank when it comes to that tag match. But yeah, the Dudleys did retain. And then we had the Hardcore Championship on the line as Rob Van Dam took on The Undertaker in an absolutely fantastic match. The Undertaker, I think he's like a heel now around this time. And he's cut his hair too, so his hair's really short. And I always found when Undertaker had a hardcore match against either Rob Van Dam or Jeff Hardy, it was always very entertaining, very cool. It seemed to suit Undertaker very much. Yeah, very well, sorry. I was going to say something else. I'm trying to remember what it was I was going to say about that. I know what it was. So the biker Undertaker, him fighting in hardcore matches for the Hardcore Championship really suited the biker Undertaker, American Badass or whatever you want to call it, that gimmick. But I couldn't imagine Gothic Undertaker in a hardcore match being as good. I know that sounds strange and it's only a change of clothes away, but yeah, I just couldn't see that myself being as good as the American Badass Taker. But yeah, anyway, the match itself, brilliant stuff. Arguably the best of the pay-per-view here of Vengeance. And yeah, very enjoyable. Check it out if you've not seen that one, guys. Trish Stratus took on Jacqueline for the WWF Women's Championship. And yeah, this one was also a good one. Trish, probably my women's wrestler of 2001 after watching all of these pay-per-views through. She definitely deserves that. And definitely deserved to win the Women's Championship towards the end of 2001. And yeah, good match against Jacqueline here. We had... I know it's not a tournament, guys. It was kind of like a tournament, though, as I was saying earlier. So 4 superstars, 3 matches, 2 titles, 1 undisputed champion. So before I go into that, at this time, Ric Flair was 50% owner of WWF because he had purchased shares of Stephanie and Shane McMahon, I do believe. Something to do with when they invested in ECW and WCW. I don't know how all that financial shit works, but in storyline, Ric Flair was co-owner of WWF because of that. So he was kind of at war with Vince McMahon. So this was like the new storyline after the end of the Invasion angle at Survivor Series. And here they both agreed to set up I keep saying tournament. I want to say tournament. Is it a tournament, guys? I guess it kind of is. So we had the winner of the WWF Championship match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kurt Angle would face the winner of The Rock and Chris Jericho's match for the World Championship in an undisputed championship match. But there you can see already there's a spoiler on the cover. They didn't put question marks. Instead, they just let you know who advances there. So, it's a shame, really. Yeah, so Stone Cold against Kurt Angle, first of all, was a good match. I think it was better than their match they had at, I think, was it Unforgiven? I enjoyed this one more than that one. And strangely, Kurt Angle was beaten with only one stunner in this match, when it took quite a few in the previous match they had together to keep Angle down, and you know what I mean. He wasn't as good here, but the match did feel better than their Unforgiven match. Sorry if I've got the name of that pay-per-view wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the match I was referring to. But yeah, it was good. No interference from what I can remember either, so that was good. Why couldn't they have done that in previous months? But you know, there you go. That's booking for you, isn't it? World Championship, not called the WCW World Championship anymore because of the end of the alliance and everything at Survivor Series. And Jericho as world champion going into this against The Rock. It was fun, but yes, interference was in this one, unfortunately. Vince McMahon interfering and pretty much costing The Rock the match. Jericho immediately went one-on-one with Austin in the final of the, to determine the new undisputed champion, or the first ever undisputed champion in the World Wrestling Federation. And Chris Jericho didn't really get time to recover after just beating The Rock. Austin comes straight down. And then there was just a lot of shit going on before those two, started wrestling. So we started stuff with The Rock going on and Kurt Angle coming down hitting Austin with a chair. And then after they all fucked off out the ring, as in like The Rock and Kurt Angle, and just left Austin and Chris Jericho to it, they had a very good match, very entertaining, very good quality, but again, interference towards the end. Booker T this time hitting Austin with the championship belt, the World Championship belt, I think it was. Or it may have been the WWF Championship. He hit Austin with one of the championships around the back of the head and gave Jericho the advantage to steal the win and become the first ever WWF Undisputed Champion. And then making the claim of beating The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the same night. The only wrestler to do so. And yeah, good stuff. It was good to see Jericho win not only both championships, but he retained one, didn't he? But become the first ever undisputed champion in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. That's quite an accomplishment, and yeah, quite an achievement for the champion. But yeah, very good ending to the pay-per-view, which was kind of not shit to begin with, but not great, but it got good towards like middle of the pay-per-view with the, as I said, the hardcore match with Taker and RVD. That was really good. The women's match was good. And then the 3 matches for the Undisputed Championship were really cool as well. So all in all, I give this one an 8 out of 10, guys. And that pretty much wraps up 2001. I'm going to do a video for Best of 2001 shortly, so you'll see this one followed after this video here, and I'll include my favourite pay-per-view of 2001, my favourite wrestlers of 2001, my favourite matches, etc. You already know my favourite female of 2001 because I already said that just now, so kind of a spoiler. Sorry, guys. Give me a thumbs up if I deserve one today. Thanks for watching, guys. You stay safe. Comment if you want to and subscribe. That means a lot to me. And I'll catch you again for the next video. And that wraps up 2001. I hope you enjoyed this series, guys. Catch you again soon. Goodbye for now.